Back now on Triad today. It's always a pleasure to have this lovely lady with us. She comes by when she has time, and she doesn't have much time because she's always serving the public. J. Paul, our director, the lovely Gloria Whisenhunt. She's a Board of Commissioners on the Forsyth County. Welcome to the show again, dear.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, I tell you, we're happy to have you, but at the same time, not a lot of good news out there. We're going to talk about budgets and the effects of budgets, but let me just pick at you for a little bit first.
Okay.
The schools, having trouble making budget. And at the same time, you got the Dell refund money. And I think people are looking at those two things and saying, hey, places like Dell and Caterpillar came here because of a good, educated workforce. So there's a tie between education and economic development. So some people are saying, especially teachers who might be laid off, hey, if there's a correlation between economic development and education, why isn't Gloria taking that Dell refund money and throwing it into the schools?
Well, actually, I agree with you. And I did make a proposal for our budget that we add an extra $1 million for the school budget. I did not have enough votes to do that. That's one reason why I voted against our budget this year. I thought the schools deserved more money. We have taken that Dell money and put it into a special economic development category. And what I had suggested was that that money came from the taxpayers and that we should put it back in general fund to use for the taxpayers.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Our public schools and Forsyth Tech, to me, are economic development tools here.
Yeah.
And that's where our money should go.
The governor came under fire and is still coming under fire for having sort of, as some people say, raided some of the lottery money that would have gone to schools.
Right.
Does that concern you? I mean, should that lottery money, it is the education lottery, should have just stayed the way it was?
Absolutely. I'm very concerned that they continue to raid the lottery funds. If they're going to do that, they should take education out of the lottery, because all they're doing now is very misleading. They're using our school children to encourage people to play the lottery, and those folks think that money's going towards education, and it's extremely misleading.
Some of us were confused last month when the commissioners, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, seemed to put the brakes on temporarily the building of a new public library, which had already been approved. The construction had been approved by voters. What was that all about?
Well, I will tell you what it's all about. We simply cannot afford it. When that vote came about to place the library on the bond, it was an entirely different board than what it is now. There were 3 of us who were adamantly opposed about putting the library up for a bond referendum
no money
because
for it.
we could not afford it.
Okay.
There were 4 who voted to do it. Now, 2 of those 4 are no longer commissioners. Right. But we are trying to find a year where we think the county might be able to afford to begin plans for the library.
We're talking about economic development. Some of these folks that locate here say, we want to make sure that when we locate here and create 100 jobs or 200 jobs or whatever, that these people can get themselves to work. And a lot of people rely on PART to get themselves to work. And yet, PART is a great service, and I'm just wondering, shouldn't the counties and the localities and the state be kicking in more money to this?
Well, the state does, the federal does, the county commissioners, Forsyth County commissioners and Guilford commissioners voted years ago to add a tax to rental cars. That money goes to PART. PART is now asking the counties to do more. In fact, I was at a PART meeting this morning. The fares are going to go from $2 to $2.40.
Which will help.
That will help. It will not fill the gap. We really wanted to charge more, but because of some federal laws, we weren't allowed to. I still think the riders should pay more than what they're paying. Ridership's great, and it's not really just because of gas prices, because we've seen that when gas prices go down, the ridership doesn't necessarily go down that much.
Right.
Once folks ride that bus, they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
They're relaxed when they get to work. They're relaxed when they get home. But I'm hoping we can find a way to keep PART running.
I do too, and I want to thank you for doing this. Speaking of PART, they help make some of these segments possible where we try to educate the public, and the website's up there so you can check out routes, www.partnc.org. And thanks. We always see, I could talk to you for an hour. Thanks for doing this.
I'd love to.
You come back?
I sure will.
All right. We'll be right back.